Chainlink is positioned to be the next Visa of blockchain and TradFi. Here's why I believe Chainlink is the most underrated altcoin on the entire crypto market right now. In case you guys missed it, Chainlink has been dropping nothing but crazy announcements the last few weeks. Today, announcing the Chainlink Payment Abstraction Service, which is also known as the SVR. Now, this new solution is essentially taking Chainlink and turning the Link token into the first ever universal gas token. What many different blockchains have set out to try and be. You guys have heard this conversation many different times. Interoperability among all different chains. Well, Chainlink not only came up with that product, but they have ultimately positioned themselves to take over the entire TradFi market. And that is because Sergey Nazarov has been working around the clock with all of your legislators, focusing on a new bill that could shape the entire future of Chainlink. Here's what Sergey has to say about the proof of bill.
The proof of bill that we're working on with a number of other legislators and their staff and other groups here in DC is really focused on proving that the real world assets that are backing a coin, whether it's a stable coin, whether it's a tokenized fund, whatever the coin is about, that those assets actually exist. And that proof about them existing doesn't happen on an annual audit basis, doesn't happen on a monthly report basis in the form of a PDF that, is very unclear. It's not very clear how anything was verified. But it happens on a second by second basis. So it happens in near real time. And beyond happening in near real time, you can drill down into the details of the underlying asset. So you wouldn't just know that it's treasuries. You would know that it's treasuries. You would know that it's 2-year or 5-year or 10-year treasuries. You would know the yield on the treasury tranches. You might even know the custodian with which those treasuries are held.
And you get the point. Now, I know I've shown you the website rwa.xyz many different times, but the global market overview for all of your tokenized markets, guys, is expanding, not decreasing. It's not shrinking. Even though the market conditions, crypto's down. Yes, we understand token prices are down. The only thing that is up almost in any sector is going to be the tokenization market, specifically the US Treasury markets. We are going to witness, probably in the next year to 2 years, this go from 5 to well over $100 billion in tokenized treasuries. Every single state, every single organization, every single institution is going to tokenize their treasury market. In fact, this is so confident, BlackRock literally within the last 30 days doubled their position by $1 billion with their securitized fund, which is partnered with Chainlink themselves. The only other competitor that sits on this that has a token is Ondo Finance, who's also a large part of the reason of BlackRock's BUIDL success story in terms of tokenized treasuries. But Chainlink, working on the proof of bill, being the one that is responsible for working with all of these different legislators and dropping and speaking at, of course, Washington, D.C. at the Digital Chambers D.C. Blockchain Summit just last week, which if you haven't seen the 16-minute video, go do so. It will change your entire perspective on Chainlink as a whole. Positions Chainlink to be, of course, not only explosive and just a technological revolution in our financial sector, they have an opportunity to be the Visa of the blockchain and TradFi system in the 2020s. If you don't know what I mean, Visa went from 2010, roughly $10 to $350 in just the last 15 years. And that, guys, is putting it at a market cap of $684 billion. Now imagine this proof of bill gets established and all of a sudden, every single institution, every single corporation, every single bank that is using tokenized treasuries, every single state, hell, even maybe the federal government themselves are required to have a proof of reserve on all of their systems. Now, I can't predict if Chainlink's going to be the sole provider of this, but what we know is they're the spearhead of this. What we know is that Chainlink's ecosystem is so vast. I mean, up 777% in just the last few weeks here, increasing the number of assets supported by Chainlink's data streams over the past year, with 54 new assets being added since the recent multi-stream upgrade. This is your cross-chain liquidity provider. This is your cross-chain interoperability protocol. This is your proof of asset layer, which is why if you're concerned with any market condition right now, should I buy? Should I dollar cost average? When I'm looking at blue chip projects, Chainlink by far one of the biggest utility layers on all of the crypto market. When I'm looking at Visa or MasterCard or JP Morgan, all sitting at these hundreds of billions of dollars in market cap, it makes me realize when Chainlink's sitting at an $8.9 billion market cap, that this is quite literally perhaps the most underrated crypto on the entire market. This proof of bill is going to happen. Now, is it going to be obviously catered towards Chainlink? That we haven't seen the discussions of just yet. But what we know is the Stable Act is coming. Your states are going to tokenize and launch their own tokens like Wyoming. This is going to become the most expansive US tokenized treasury market in the world, and Chainlink is going to be the leader in this.
I want to give a quick shout out to L-Bank Exchange. It is my favorite exchange to get all of the latest trading pairs, all of the hottest meme coins and altcoins. You can go to the spot trading, or you could do futures perpetual trading. And we have a link down below with the tutorial on the top of our page. Tons and tons of features here, 24/7 customer support, huge reach here, huge volume, millions of users, and they have over 200 countries and regions covered. So go ahead, open up an account, deposit some funds, and start your trading journey.
Now, let me explain this a little bit better. I had Grok break down exactly the value that can be created from, of course, the potential value of a proof of reserve bill here. Increased adoption. If legislation mandates reserve verification and Chainlink's POR becomes the go-to solution, which it's positioned to be, demand for Link would rise. Link is used to pay node operators for Oracle services, including the proof of reserve data feeds. More assets requiring verification means more transaction and Link usage. Constant buying pressure, as speculated in multiple X posts. A system where payments for services, example, via DEXs, are converted to Link. Everything you pay for through the service is going to be transacted through a DEX on the back end with Chainlink, whether people realize it or not. Link would create ongoing buy pressure, especially if institutional adoption scales with regulatory clarity. Future node wars, competition among Chainlink nodes could tie Link's value to staking rewards, further incentivizing holding and increasing scarcity as more tokens are locked up, creating a much more scarce supply. And lastly, market perception. Codifying Chainlink into law would signal its indispensability, likely boosting investor confidence in Link's price as it transitions from a DeFi tool to a regulatory cornerstone. Now, again, there is no confirmation of this bill. It is very early in talks, but of course, everything we do in these markets in investing is based off assumptions. And if we know and understand, Sergey Nazarov is constantly in Washington, D.C. He is working with regulators. Hell, he was just at the Digital Asset Summit with Donald Trump and the entire crypto market meeting they had with David Sachs at the Digital Asset Summit. They are positioned to be primed for whatever tokenization outlook and proof of reserve comes to our markets. Now, I want to remind you guys, don't fall for all the hype and the hopium and the bullishness. I know I sound incredibly bullish. I am incredibly bullish, but I have to point out for Visa here, it took 15 years for it to hit, of course, $350 from $10. And I expect Chainlink to follow suit along kind of a similar time frame. I don't know if it's going to take 2 years or 5 years, but what we know is legislation is slow. We know regulators and Congress are slow. The government is incredibly slow. So even if they get the proof of reserve bill, which could come 6 months from now, can come 2 years from now, as long as they're working towards that, and we know they're working towards that, we can proactively look at these market conditions and hopefully project where Chainlink will end up in the future. You guys know it. You've seen it. You've listened to the videos. Chainlink is at the spearhead of all of this financial innovation. They're the ones tokenizing and have almost the most tokenized products on the entire market. They have trillions upon trillions of dollars being transacted through their payment services, their CCIP, etc. I mean, just look at their developer activity. Outpacing EigenLayer, DeFi chain, Status, every chain. They are the top project right now in terms of development activity last week. So really, the only question here is, do you believe Chainlink could be essentially the new Visa or the new MasterCard of Web3 and TradFi? Can Chainlink get this proof of bill passed? And can Chainlink become the #1 institutional tool for all tokenization and proof of reserves in the United States of America? And if you don't think Chainlink could compete with the MasterCard or Visa, let me know why in the comments as well. Thank you guys for watching. I'm Joshua Jake. This is Discover Crypto. Hit that like button, subscribe, and we will see you in the next video.